I am live. Okay, I'm trying a different camera because I've noticed my other camera, when I use the integrated camera on my computer, doesn't seem to be giving such a great image. Not that it matters, but uh, because I am going to be showing actually the screen now. So I've been doing some Googling, some research from what I can gather of what happened yesterday and what's been happening today. Today's trial still isn't over, and let's see, I'm going to present my screen. Let's see, show screen. How do I do that? Share screen. So we'll just Google along together. Entire screen. I want you guys to share system audio. No, I don't want to do that. Window. How come we can't see it? Hang on a second. If I go here, you guys can see that. I want you to see everything that I'm seeing, though. If I do this, you'll see. All right, well, we'll go over this article. I'm not sure why. Oh, there we go. Okay, you can bounce around with me as I click around. And then entire screen. I'm not sure what difference that makes, but okay. You guys will let me know if you can't see. So, okay, we're going to be doing this. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Hang on. Ding. It bounces around. Hang on. I have to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. I hope you guys are seeing the article that I'm looking at. I can't know because when I bounce back to the other screen, it bounces back to the other screen. So let me get my phone and see what you guys are seeing. So yesterday, oops. All right, hang on. Nobody's here. 0 viewers. I don't feel like talking when I have 0. I need to have at least one person. Otherwise, I feel like I'm talking to myself. All right. I'll just wait a sec, see if someone jumps on. How many of you are there? 0 people. All right. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this if you guys are. Oh, here we go. All right. Hang on. Let me see what you guys are seeing. I'm still figuring this out. I also want to see if this new camera is focusing better. So if I were to go to, let's try going to my Twitch channel, actually. I haven't been on Twitch in a while as far as following along. I need my glasses too. Oh, it's terrible. Getting old is so horrible. Those of you who are still in your 20s and 30s, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Don't waste your time being depressed like I was. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I always had something to complain about. I wish I could go back and just relive it and enjoy them instead of wasting my time always being negative. All right. See, but I should take my own advice now because when I'm 80, I'm going to be remembering now and saying, oh, why did I waste my 50s and 60s being so negative? So it's never. All right. Okay, hang on a second. I have to see what you guys are seeing. So let me go to Twitch. I'm still learning this phone. Twitch. Just to check Twitch TV. And let me go to my channel. I'm not logged in, but I can go to the channel. How do I get there, though? Search. Okay, I'm difficult unit. Difficult_unit on Twitch. Difficult unit. There we go. Oh, I am logged in, apparently. Okay, live. No, I'm not. Okay, you are seeing what I'm seeing, apparently. Is that my stomach rumbling? Live broadcast, but why is it? Am I moving? Oh, yeah, it's working. It's on. Okay. All right, good. I hope you guys can see. So, okay, one viewer. Hello there. So we're just going over whatever happened yesterday and today. So yesterday, what happened? That's November 2nd, but 2-minute read. Okay, well, let's go ahead and look. See, I know what's happening in that trial as much as what you guys can find out yourselves. I have to search on the internet because they're not live streaming the trial. They only let us watch the opening arguments, which were horrifically poor sound, so you couldn't even really hear them. And it's, anyway, so the 911 call was heard. That's Kailtin Armstrong, the lady who's on trial. Devastated family members of slain professional cyclist Mariah Mo Wilson sobbed in a Texas courtroom and at one point walked out as the harrowing 911 call and graphic police body cam footage were played. Excuse me, I had some soda pop and I got the bubbles. Sorry, let me start over. The harrowing 911 call and graphic body cam footage were played for jurors on the first day of witness testimony. Kailtin Armstrong, a 35-year-old Texas yoga teacher, has pleaded not guilty to murder in the May 2022 slaying of Wilson, a competitive gravel and mountain bike racer, in what prosecutors say was a jealous rage over a love triangle. Wilson had been shot in the head and chest when she was found at a friend's home before a race that she was among the favorites to win. Caitlin Cash, this is going to confuse us. Caitlin Cash is the friend, not the person who's on trial. Caitlin Armstrong, spelled differently. Obviously, Caitlin Cash is spelled with a C, Caitlin, and Caitlin Armstrong with a K. So Caitlin Cash, the friend of Mo Wilson, testified on the stand on Wednesday that she had found her friend covered in blood and not breathing when she returned home from dinner. Her voice cracked as she recalled seeing her feet through and thought she was just lying on the bathroom tile floor to cool off. So the friend walked in, saw somebody, she knew it was her friend Mo Wilson lying on the floor of the bathroom. And yeah, I could see her thinking that, like, oh, it's the floor, especially bathroom tiles, nice and cool, and it was hot outside Texas. So she thought her friend was just laying there cooling off. That, of course, you're not going to think the first thing that something bad has happened. You're going to think, oh, she's look how silly she is laying on the floor, But when she announced her arrival, there was no response. Here's the friend saying she was covered in blood, lying on her back, Miss Cash told the court as she began to cry. I immediately bent down and tried to wake her up. Pretty quickly, I called 911. Prosecutors then played Ms. Cash's gut-wrenching 911 call, where the court could hear crying as she told the dispatcher her brain is leaking. Ugh. And there, I guess, is the friend hugging. Caitlin Cash testified on the stand that she found her friend covered in blood and not breathing when she returned home. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. An emotional Miss Cash could be heard counting out loud as she follows the dispatcher's instructions and delivers chest compressions to her friend. She's laying on the bathroom floor and there's blood everywhere. I can't tell what happened. She's heard telling the dispatcher. She is not awake. There is blood all over her face and the back of her head. As the 911 call was played in court, Ms. Cash was visibly distraught on the stand, and many of Wilson's family left while others were seen weeping in court. So here we'll show you the pictures. We have a picture of, this is the woman who's accused. Before her surgery, she then went, this was obviously long before this ever happened. That's what she looks like. Then she had a nose job in Costa Rica. So she's the accused, Caitlin Armstrong. This is Mariah Wilson, Mo for short. They used to call her Mo. About 10 years younger. And then this is Colin Strickland, the man of the love triangle. He was in a relationship with Caitlin Armstrong over here on the left, dated Mo Wilson while he was on a break from Caitlin. Then he and Caitlin got back together, exclusively again. But apparently he still felt something for this young lady because they didn't break it off completely. They were at least remained friends. But from the understanding of Caitlin Armstrong, they were no longer seeing each other at all. I can understand that this woman was a threat to her. And if she wants to have a relationship with him, you know, you kind of would hope that he would break it off completely with the other lady. But he claimed that they were just friends. But even so, even if they were just friends, he was doing it behind Caitlin Armstrong's back. Now that doesn't give her the right to go kill anyone. But my point is, okay, and I'm biased. I'm a woman, so of course I might be siding more with the woman and the women. But this guy was playing. He wanted to have his cake and eat it too. That's how I view it, and that's my opinion. But of course, we can't blame him for being a man. And I'm not a man hater. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a man hater. But when affairs of the heart come up, I usually will side with the woman. I'm a woman, so understand my bias. But even so, she shouldn't have killed the girl. But I kind of blame him in part. But after all, she's a responsible adult. She made her own decisions, and unfortunately, she made the wrong decision. But in my heart, I can kind of understand. But my anger wouldn't have been directed necessarily to the other young lady. It would have been directed at him. Why are you lying to me, sneaking around, even if it's just friends? If a man has to sneak around to just be friends with someone, he needs to not be in a relationship with you. It could be that she's being unreasonable, the girlfriend. All right, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. My point is, if someone has to be hiding from you, you're not in the relationship you need to be in. He should be able to have friends and you not worry about it. If you're worried about it, then it's not a strong enough a relationship that that you trust him. So whether he was a friend with her or otherwise. Okay, so anyway, let's continue reading. The court later watched body cam footage from the first police officer who arrived and took over resuscitation efforts. Ms. Cash was next to Wilson's family during the footage that showed her pressing her friend's chest when police arrived. Wait a minute. Ms. Cash was next to Wilson's family during the footage that showed. Oh, okay. Wilson's father kept his head down and appeared to plug his ears with his fingers. He later told News Nation's Alex Caprariello that he didn't need to hear or see the footage. Yeah, I mean, why? His daughter's dead. Why go through it? I agree with that. So then it says view comments. Sometimes that can be interesting, but I don't see any comments right now. Oh, be the first to comment. No comments. All right. Sometimes the comments are more interesting than they bring up ideas that you wouldn't have thought of. Hopefully there'll be respectful comments if they start to arrive. Here's this article for any of you who wants to read it on your own or to go back later and see comments. This article was done only today. So okay, here's the link to that article. Okay, I'll give you the links as I'm reading along. Okay, so that was apparently yesterday, though. Devastated family. I believe that happened yesterday. And the trial is going on as we speak right now. But let's see what else we can find. What other Caitlin, okay. Caitlin Armstrong trial. Let's see day 2. Day 2. Prosecutors to call more witnesses during the murder trial. Let's find prosecutor defense attorneys make opening statements. That was yesterday. We already saw that. Video captures final screams. Oh my goodness. That was 8 hours ago. So that must have been yesterday. Played the 911 call. And captures final screams of pro cyclist after accused. Okay, how'd they get those? That was before the 911 call, because 911, she was already dead. So where were the streams caught? Let's see. Video captures final. Oh, let me give you the link. So if you want to read along on your own for whatever reason, or you could just, I'm going to read it out loud because it's good for me to practice reading. Now I'm reading this article. Video captures final screams of pro cyclist Mo Wilson after accused killer Kailtin Armstrong tracked her on fitness app, prosecutor says. Wow. You see? I mean, come on. How is Kailtin Armstrong not guilty? She was stalking her on the fitness app. Oh my gosh. Let's see. The murder trial of a woman accused of gunning down rising pro cyclist Anna Mariah Wilson and fleeing the country began Wednesday with Texas prosecutors telling jurors they would hear Wilson's final screams and the shots that killed her. Kailtin Armstrong, 35, has pleaded not guilty to murder and faces up to 99 years in prison. Okay, so apparently she's not going to get the death penalty. They've already decided it's going to be the worst is she's going to get is 99 years in prison, which is life, basically. But has pleaded 99 years in prison in the May 2022 slaying of Wilson, a competitive gravel and mountain bike racer. Wilson had been shot in the head and chest when she was found at a friend's home before a race that she was among the favorites to win. The last thing Mo did on this earth was scream in terror, Travis County prosecutor Ricky Jones told jurors in opening statements. He said nearby surveillance equipment captured the screams. Oh, okay. So the screams were heard by nearby surveillance equipment. You know, Ring cameras catch sound as well as views. But they didn't capture her, the killer entering the apartment, apparently, but they captured the sounds. Those screams are followed by pop, pop, Jones said, smacking his hands together for emphasis. Oh, that was in the opening statements yesterday, unless he also repeated them. You won't hear any more screams after that. Okay. Kailtin Armstrong enters the courtroom during the first day of her trial at the Blackwell Thurman Criminal Justice Center, Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, in Austin, Texas. Armstrong is charged with murder in connection with the shooting death of pro cyclist Anna Mariah Wilson. Seconds after those shots, Jones said, Kailtin Armstrong stood over Mo Wilson, oh my goodness, and put a third shot right into Mo Wilson's heart. Oh my goodness. No, I'm sorry. There's no way out of it. The woman is guilty. She's guilty, and it wasn't even, it was pre-planned. It was premeditated. I want to find about this fitness app. At the time, U.S. Marshals said police found Wilson bleeding and unconscious from multiple gunshots. They performed CPR, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. We kind of know that already. If it's something we've already read in another article, I'm just kind of whiz through it. In a short opening statement, defense attorney Jeff Purrier said Armstrong was caught in a web of circumstantial evidence. Yeah, that's kind of what I went over. That was the opening arguments. No video evidence or witness can put Armstrong at the scene of the shooting. Okay, so she was not caught on cam at any time, nor did we see any sort of figure leaving the car and entering the apartment complex. So we saw the car on the ring cams in the area, So police have said Wilson, a 25-year-old Vermont native, had previously dated Armstrong's boyfriend, Colin Strickland, Colin Strickland is a competitive gravel racer. They speak to him as was. He still is. Colin Strickland, who also was a competitive gravel racer and had gone swimming with him earlier in the day. The trial began 3 weeks after authorities said Armstrong tried to escape from custody. Yeah, I kind of went over that a few weeks ago. Prosecutors said they will show that Armstrong tracked Strickland's communications with Wilson, as well as Wilson's whereabouts. She might have been going into her boyfriend's phone, because otherwise I don't know. That's how she found out they were together. She was looking in her boyfriend's phone somehow. As well as Wilson's whereabouts in the weeks and days before the shooting. Armstrong was allegedly able to track Wilson's location because Wilson had not turned on a safety feature on a fitness app. Wow. Jones said the evidence will show Armstrong looked Wilson up multiple times on the popular cycling app Strava, CBS affiliate. Guys, be careful. Pay attention if you're on an app, something I wouldn't have thought of. Because on Google Maps, for example, I have it activated for certain people to know where I am. My parents, for example, they can see where I am. They never use the cell phone, or whatever, a friend, a close friend, you can activate it so that they can see you, and also temporarily, permanently. So any apps you have, check and make sure that you can't be tracked, or if you're being tracked, that you know about it, because that's how this woman knew. And of course, she could track her boyfriend too, but I assume if her boyfriend were on one of those apps where the girlfriend could track him, he would have turned it off while he was on the date. So Armstrong's SUV was seen at the apartment where Wilson was staying the night she was killed. Police also said shell casings found at the scene matched a gun found in Armstrong's home. How is she not guilty? The the only thing the prosecution can do is inject reasonable doubt. But I just don't see, where can there be reasonable doubt? All this evidence, it's circumstantial evidence. Granted, there was no one. That's what the defense is arguing. Nobody can physically put Kailtin Armstrong at the scene. You can put her truck at the scene. I assume that the license plate of the truck was visible at some point. But, it could be that someone else was driving her truck, for example. But I don't know. Reasonable doubt, though. And she tracked her on her phone. They have evidence. Anything you do now, if you're on the internet, there's evidence. And there's even evidence you turn off your phone, granted, because people know that. So they'll turn off their phone when they go to commit a crime, or they'll leave the phone home while they commit the crime. So, but still, if you turn off your phone, they'll say, oh, what a coincidence. The phone was turned off exactly in the moments that you were committing the crime. I guess the only way you could do it is leave the phone at home, go commit the crime, and come back home, but I'm not telling you how to commit crimes now, but I'm just saying. And what if someone happened? Let's assume you turn off you leave the phone on, but you leave it at home, and you go off and you commit the crime. You got to hope during that time that no ring camera caught you, no ring camera caught your car or your truck driving by. Nobody called you and you didn't answer, because then you could say, oh, I was in the shower, or I was doing something, I didn't hear the phone, or it was on silent mode. Put the phone on silent mode. So if someone calls you, oh, I had it on silent mode, but I don't know. Don't commit crimes, people. It's just easier. Just don't do anything illegal. All right. Police said the shell casings found at the scene matched the gun at Armstrong's home that Colin had given to her. It was her gun. Investigators quickly cleared Strickland. I guess he could show his whereabouts, prove his whereabouts at the time. Prosecutors said Wednesday that the video and cell phone calls, texting, and location data will confirm that he was nowhere near the shooting, and I'm sure it will. You see, because that's the other thing. Your cell phone can help you prove your innocence sometimes, or show good evidence of your innocence, because look, here was my, that's why you would leave it at home, but Jones said that Armstrong and Strickland were romantic partners beginning in 2019 and became business partners in 2021. Okay. You'll hear from Colin that the relationship was on again, off again, and you will hear that when the relationship was off, they both dated other people. Strickland did not testify Wednesday, but he's named witness list. Yeah, he'll be testifying at some point. Among the first witnesses were Caitlin Cash, the friend who found Wilson covered in blood and not breathing when she returned home from dinner, and several police officers who arrived on the scene, which have already started in the opening statements. The defense was already what are you calling? Putting holes in their stories, in the police, or he was trying to discredit the police officers. I didn't hear him discrediting the friend, which I don't suggest he do, because that will make the defense look very cold, and it won't garner any favor with the jury to be, discrediting the friend. So I don't believe he will do that if he's smart. Besides, it is what it is. She walked in, found the body, did the chest compressions. She's not a circumstantial witness against anyone. She's just saying, I found the dead body, So There's no reason to discredit her. They later watched body cam footage from the first police officer who arrived and took over the resuscitation. Okay, that part we knew. Family left the courtroom. We knew that part. The friend, I guess, is on the right. Caitlin Cash is this lady. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Can you guys see my mouse? Oh, let me look at the chat. No, nobody's chatting. You're just watching. Okay. But captures the final screams. I wonder if the case drew international headlines when Armstrong fled the country after her initial meeting with police, leading to a 43-day search. Investigators said she sold her vehicle for $12,000 and fled the country using her sister's name, email, credit card, and passport. Federal authorities, and see, here's the thing, was the sister in on it? I'm wondering, or did the sister know, because she went up to New York and somehow left with her sister's credit card and passport. Email, I guess the email, you could just open an email in your sister's name. So that part, but the credit card and password, did the sister help her or did she steal that and her sister didn't know? Especially the credit card, you might not realize your passport is missing until you want to travel, but your credit card, you'll notice, like if you use it often enough. So I don't know. I'm thinking the sister might be a little bit guilty of helping, but federal authorities tracked Armstrong to Costa Rica, where prosecutors said she spent this amount of money, 6,000 something, for surgery to change her appearance and several aliases while trying to establish herself as a yoga instructor. She had also cut and darkened her hair and a bandage on her nose and discoloration in her eyes. Yeah, because she'd gotten the nose job. She had a bandage on her and blood on her nostrils. Armstrong's attorney suggested the sudden flight out of the country was not an attempt to escape justice. She would have no reason to know about any arrest warrant. You will hear Caitlin is passionate about traveling and passionate about yoga. Yeah, I mean, I guess the defense could argue, well, she was so upset by being, the police came and she was upset that she found out that her boyfriend had actually been with the woman. So she decided to take a quick vacation, then why is she using her sister's passport though? I mean, I know that the defense has to do his job. He has to do what he can to get her, a light sentence or no sentence. That's his job. And thank goodness we have someone to defend the accused, because sometimes the accused are innocent. So we need to have that system. But I really cannot imagine that she's going to get off. I think she's going to get 99 years in prison. I mean, but too early to tell. You got some pretty good lawyers out there. The case took another turn when authorities said Armstrong tried to escape from the two officers who escorted her to a medical appointment outside jail on October 11th. Yeah, I covered that. Cell phone video recorded in the parking lot showed Armstrong handcuffed and in striped jail clothes running from an officer trying to climb the fence. Authorities have said Armstrong appeared to plan her escape by complaining of an injury to get outside of medical appointment. Okay. To get an outside medical appointment, to have her leg strains removed. Okay. Yeah, no, she is, just the fact that twice she tried to escape. First, she ran off to Costa Rica. Then as a last ditch attempt, she figured, okay, I'll try to run off, but okay. She has nothing to lose at this point by claiming not guilty. Because if she admits to it, she's still going to go to prison the rest of her life, or for a long, like they might do a plea deal with her and say, okay, you'll only go for 50 years instead of 99. But still, she's 35 plus 50 years. She'll probably be dead or almost dead by the time the sentence is up. I think it's pretty much over for her, but okay, we gotta, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll come out that suddenly Mo Wilson had, well, actually, there was, I did hear little news stories here and there that Mo Wilson did have an angry ex-boyfriend. Now, it's a coincidence that she happened to die in the same town where she happened to be, with the ex-boyfriend and his current girlfriend, it's too much of a coincidence. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it'll, let's assume, like, what could be this stalking ex-boyfriend of Mo Wilson found out she was going to Texas, knew, maybe the ex-boyfriend knew she was sneaking around with Colin and said, hey, I'll go to Texas too, and I'll set up the other girlfriend, and I don't know, steal her truck and do the crime and put I mean, but even so, it's still a stretch that it would have been anyone else. So, all right. Anyway, so that's that. Any other news about what actually happened at the trial, though? Because what we just read was basics. 3 people now. Okay, good. And I'll do one more article. Let's see what happened. It's 2:51, so the trial is still going on. It's so frustrating not watching the live stream, but all right. Let's see. I'm not going to get on a side tangent right now. I'm going to stick to the trial. Let's see, what else did I miss here? Day 2. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing, though? Let me have a quick look. You guys let me know if there's bad vision, bad anything. Okay, you are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, let me close some of these windows. This one. Okay. Yeah, you're bouncing around from screen to screen with me. So day 2, Kailtin Armstrong, day 2. Okay, we'll just go to the top. That's today. Today is day 2. I missed day 1 because I didn't realize that they weren't live streaming it. And I was going around today trying to find the trial, and I realized through another person who's also doing the trial on YouTube that it's not being live streamed. Just the opening arguments were. So this is from 4 hours ago. Oh, I'll give you the link to this article if you want to follow along. But I encourage you all to do your own research on this case. So we'll have stuff to discuss on the chat. Maybe you guys will know, or you'll form your own opinions to make it more interesting, not just me telling you what the news says, because, you all can Google on your own the same stuff that I'm telling you. But anyway, Kailtin Armstrong, day 2, but this was 4 hours ago. Testimony surrounds gathering evidence at the murder scene. So, Austin, because it says they will call, but those witnesses have already been called. So, both sides delivered open statements Wednesday morning. Okay, we saw that. The stated outlined a timeline of evidence gathered from phone and GPS records of Armstrong and Wilson's actions leading up to the shooting. Prosecutors also discussed the relationship between Armstrong, Wilson, and Armstrong's then boyfriend, Colin Strickland. The guy isn't even that good looking. I don't know why they fought fighting over him, but doesn't matter. Maybe he would. When you're in a relationship, no matter what kind of jerk you're with, you think you're in love. And okay, day 1 of the Kailtin wraps up. Okay, that was day 1. I'm on day 2. Actually, now I want to jump to day 1. Let's see what that says. Let me see if it opens a new window. Good, it does. Day 1 of the, okay, let me just see if it's anything new. Cameras are allowed inside the count loan. Okay, see here, right here. Cameras are allowed inside courtroom only for opening statements, closing arguments, and the verdict, but not for the witness testimony. All right. Yeah. Let me close that. Oh, there's an actual video. Hang on. Is there a video? Oh, goodness. State focus phone records in the opening statements. Wait, but we saw this. I'm not reading it because I think this is basically. Prosecutors said Armstrong and Strickland were business partners and she had access to his messages through their laptop iPad. Jones said Strickland and Wilson had a brief romantic relationship. It's important to note that Wilson's family previously sent the following statement about Wilson's relationship status. Here's what the family said. While we will not elaborate about the ongoing investigation, we do feel it's important to clarify that at the time of her death, those closest to her clearly understood directly from Mariah that she was not in a romantic relationship with anyone. Okay, that's, that's what she said. That's what she said. I that's what she told her family. Again, if she was sneaking around with him, she would not be making that openly public. But I don't think she was. I think I do think she was single. I don't think they were in a relationship, but I think they were toying with the idea again. I think they had feelings for each other. They probably were not actually in a relationship anymore. They'd broken up, but they were toying with those feelings, and it could have bubbled up again, and that's what made the girlfriend insecure. Okay, Jones in his statements outlined the below timeline of the day. Jones, who's Jones? Strickland, who's Jones? Now I'm confused. While making his case, is Jones? Oh, Ricky Jones. Okay, he's the prosecutor. Okay, Jones in his statements and the timeline of the day Wilson died, which said prosecutors and law enforcement gathered through the phone records. Wilson and Strickland, they went out that night. So Wilson and Strickland leave Deep Eddy Pool. State said Strickland lied to Armstrong. See, if he's lying to her, even if he was not cheating physically, he was, he was not doing something that was right. And again, I'm not going to say it's his fault. After all, she was the one who decided to kill. But you don't play like that with women, gentlemen out there. Don't play with women. If you need to be sneaking around, you're not with the right woman, because she needs to be trusting you 100%. And same with the woman. If you don't trust that man 100%, and you don't need, then you don't need to be with him. It's as much as it hurts, if he's sneaking around, he's always going to be sneaking around, whether it be cheating or whether it be just, oh, I'm not going to tell her because she's just going to get upset over nothing. So 8:35 p.m. Strickland drops Wilson off at her friend's East Austin apartment. Strickland texts Armstrong as he goes home. See, he even lied to her. He had already had and he texted Kailtin Armstrong, hey, what are we going to do about dinner? He'd already had dinner, but he was pretending like he hadn't even had dinner. Because I read that in another article, not in this one. But Wilson uses her phone at 9:13. Gunshots go off. I'm not sure. Okay. Defense, no video. So that's basically the defense is saying, no, it's all circumstantial evidence, nothing, no concrete evidence that it was her. I want to talk to you but these are the opening statements again. So that's fine. Okay, let's go back to day 2 then. The defense primary's argument appears to be the notion that even though there is surveillance of gunshots in her Jeep, there is no camera footage of Armstrong actually shooting Wilson. I want to talk to you about what you didn't hear about. Defense attorney Jeffrey Puryear. Not one witness saw Kailtin Armstrong allegedly commit this murder. His brother, Matt, was the first to testify. The state asked about his sister's collegiate skiing career, as well as her up-and-coming professional cycling endeavors. He also spoke about the kind of person his sister was, saying they were both extremely close. So her in the blue sweater as they left the courthouse on day 1. Okay, so that was, day 1. That was yesterday. All right. Matt said Wilson and Strickland did not have a romantic relationship at the time of Wilson's death, but did previously have a casual dating relationship during the previous year. And Cash was the next to testify. She's the friend of Wilson, who Wilson stayed with in Austin. She discussed the night Wilson died and how Cash found her on the floor of the apartment. The first responders testified. KXAN poured testimony, but this day witness. This a 2. Okay, that's today. So this is today. Some of it is today. Let's see. Prosecutors bring key piece of evidence, bicycle found near scene, into the courtroom. Thursday morning, so it is this morning, Caitlin Longoria and Katie Ferrara, both crime scene specialists. Did I give you this link? Because this is being updated as it goes. Day 2. Yeah, I did give it to you. 2 people. Okay. Thursday morning, Caitlin Longoria and Katie Ferrara, both crime scene specialists with the Austin Forensic Science Department, took questions their response to the scene the night Wilson was found dead. It's important to note the Forensic Science Department is a standalone department and not part of Austin Police Department. Longoria said she took more than 400 photos at the crime scene and noted seeing what she believed were projectiles on the floor in the kitchen, as well as on the floor of the bathroom near Wilson's body. So I guess the woman was shot. The shooting, there were 3. She got hit 3 times. So the first shot took place in the kitchen, apparently. And, Mo Wilson started screaming at some point, either before or after she got shot the first time. But she's screaming. Maybe she's screaming. They said that she screamed and then there were the shots heard. But that part, but she was still alive, apparently, from the first 2 shots. And then the poor girl ran to the bathroom for whatever reason. She ran in the direction she could run, I guess. Ended up on the floor, and then Caitlin Armstrong, or the murderer, whoever it was, we are going to assume it was Caitlin Armstrong. She was on the floor, and she shot her a 3rd time. That's hatred. That's, because you think, okay, shoot her once, you see the blood, you're like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Like, assuming it was a crime of passion, because you even could, like, I'm going to be thinking on the side of the defense, or the moral defense, the devil's advocate here. Okay, she's angry. She takes the gun because her plan was to scare her so that she wouldn't bother the boyfriend. She wasn't planning to kill her. She just wanted to scare her with the gun. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. But when the shooting starts, like, you're getting angry, you start arguing, you shoot her, you'd think the blood would wake her up. Like, oh my gosh, I actually shot her. What am I doing? And then run, that the girl is still alive. She shot her again. And then, okay, the girl is on the floor already. Blood coming out. She ran away. She's on the floor. You'd think by then you'd wake up. No, oh my goodness. All right, she's on the floor. I got her, whatever, and run away. No, she wanted to make sure the girl was dead. So she probably at that point didn't even know if she was dead or not. She wanted to make sure she was dead. So she shot her a 3rd time while she was on the floor, is what I'm understanding. And correct me if you guys do your own research. That's why I don't want to give fake evidence here or false. But what I'm gathering from what we're reading is that, so this is, and it sounds like there wasn't even an argument. She wasn't going there to scare her. She was going there to kill her, is how it sounds. Because going over there to scare her, you would have heard yelling or screaming or arguing. The neighbor would have heard some sort of argument prior. Like, I told you to stay away from him. This is your last warning. Here's a gun. Next time I'll shoot you. You would have heard. But there apparently wasn't even any arguing. It was immediate screaming and then shots. It's as if she went in a robot mode. She knew what she was tracking her. What time she going to be home? But even the tracking part, again, she might be tracking her to find out where she can get her alone to confront her, but without the intention of killing. But no, this woman went off the deep end. She went off, and she, again, from articles I've read in the past, Caitlin Armstrong was a very laid back, yoga teacher. Yoga. I'm not trying to give yoga teachers like any kind of special, but ordinarily a yoga teacher, peace and love and stay calm and, all that stuff. Maybe those are the people you should be more afraid of, because when they blow up, they blow up. All right. Ferrara said her job on the scene was to process certain areas for prints. and DNA. During her testimony, prosecutors brought the bicycle found in a grass patch near the scene into the courtroom. It was wrapped in a plastic bag. Ferrara said she swabbed the bicycle DNA for DNA on the scene before packaging it. In Cash's testimony, she said she recognized the bike as Wilson's bike. Both the state and defense have placed a large focus on the bike as well as Wilson's black bike bag, which police found outside near the stairs that go up to Cash's apartment. I'm not sure why that's relevant, but we'll find out. Ferrara, as well as the attorneys, wore gloves as they unwrapped the bike. Armstrong took notes for a portion of the questioning surrounding the bicycle. Yeah, now that's curious to me. Anyone who might know the answer, why would that be relevant? The bike. I mean, maybe the bike was in a plastic bag because Mo Wilson was keeping it nice and protected because she had to race with it. And the bicycle bag, I don't know. I don't know. I guess that'll come up later. But I don't see at this point, I don't understand why that's so relevant. Mo Wilson's bike and her bike bag. Or why, let's say, the murderer, Kailtin, the accused, Kailtin Armstrong, why would she even go near the bike? What would her purpose be? Like, if she went there to kill her, what, I don't know what the bike has to do with anything, but I guess as time goes on, we'll find out. So history of the case, we already know. She went to Costa Rica, all this I won't read because we know that. She tried to escape. All right, so that's basically all I know so far. We can see if there's anything else. No comments, guys? All right, I encourage you guys to follow along with me on this case so we can discuss it. I'm just giving you guys my opinions. It doesn't mean that I'm right. And again, remember, some of it I'm kind of guessing. I'm filling in blanks where I don't find the answers. So let's see if we find one more article. And if not, it's 3. In Texas, it's even earlier, though. So the trial is still going on. Let's see. Let me see. What time does the Kailtin Armstrong trial adjourn today? Kailtin Armstrong, day 2, 5 hours ago. Ahead of Kailtin Armstrong's trial, date moved to October. Okay, we know all that. That was 19 hours ago. Unless it ended for the day. Yeah, these are all older. Yeah, this would be the one we were just looking at. Kailtin Armstrong, day 2. The more recent ones, I believe, would be at the top. Today, 7 hours ago. Yeah, I don't have any new stuff. Yeah, and these are older articles. Those are all older. 6 hours ago. Oh, what does that have to do? Kailtin Armstrong now. Yeah, no, these are all older from last year, from April. Okay, so I think I've got the latest I can possibly find. And I don't know if the trial closed or if there will be a later update. The trial continues. Okay, 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago. That was 5 hours ago. Okay, here's one that's 2 hours ago. It's Fox News. Sorry, guys. I know some of you don't like Fox News, but. All right, Kailtin Armstrong trial, cycling murder. Oh, here's this one, if you want to follow along. So I'll end with this article. Here we go. That's this one. Oops, where is it? And I only picked it because it's the most recent one. It says 2 hours ago. Let me close some of these. Okay. Kailtin Armstrong trial. Let's see if there's anything new here that we don't know yet. The Texas woman accused of fleeing country, getting a nose job, blah, blah, blah. Romantic rival. Shot her through the heart. She stalked her using a fitness app and shot her through the heart. Okay. Kailtin Armstrong is now 37. She was 34 35 at the time that the murder occurred. He's on trial for the murder of Anna Mo Wilson, who would now be 27, but she was 25, 10 years younger. Um, eh, eh, Not to be, I'm going to throw in my opinion again. My opinion. I'm a woman. Kailtin was 35. That's an age for women who are hoping to marry, settle down, start having kids. You're getting late in the game at that point. So her mindset at the time was probably, okay, I've got the man I love, now we've decided to be together again. I'm putting myself in her shoes and how I was at that age. I'm like, okay, it's time to. I was mistaken, as it turned out, but at the time I was 35. I was actually a little early. It was like 32-ish, 33-ish when I got uh, involved and married. I was before 35, but I was, hitting 35 is an age, ladies, where if your goal is to get married and settle down and have kids, you're getting kind of late. You got to hurry up at that point. So, I'm thinking in her mindset, good, I'm 35, I've got a good man, and then you start getting old, ladies. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're old for other things, for a career, for whatever, studying if you want to get another degree. But for having children, especially for having children, you're starting to get up there. It starts getting more complicated after, closer to 40, after 40, you really need to start getting serious by the time you're 35 about having a child. And ordinarily you want to have the whole package, the man who's also helping you raise the child, the house, I believe generally people, even if you're homosexual, it's a little different maybe because you may not, but even a lesbian woman, here I go off on my tangents, I'm sorry, but a lesbian woman, one of you had better be 35 or under, or under 40 if you're going to be getting pregnant, even if your significant other is a woman. And for gay men, okay, well, it's a different situation because, they do have more time perhaps because they just need to find a surrogate. So they could be older and still, but for a woman, 35 is kind of an age where you gotta, so she was probably thinking, okay, I've got the package, we're headed in the right direction, and suddenly this woman 10 years younger is about to throw a wrench into her plan. She probably went berserk, and on top of that, she loved or loves, I don't know if she still loves him, but it was just a perfect storm is what I'm saying. uh you know I keep on being the devil's advocate because the woman is guilty. She's going to go to jail. My true feeling is she's going to go to jail the rest of her life. They're going to find her guilty. She's going to, but you have to try to understand a woman who'd never been in trouble before. Yeah, she had done something illegal before, but it wasn't anything with violence. She'd stolen, but she was not a violent person. She was a yoga teacher. Even Colin Strickland said early on when it first happened that no, she's cool. She's like really chill. She's not a, she's not a kind of woman that would be violent. And so anyway, we'll see if there are any character witnesses for Kailtin Armstrong, because then the argument maybe for the defense, I mean, the defense is saying she didn't do it. She wasn't there. It's all circumstantial evidence, which is kind of a difficult, maybe once she is found guilty, which I believe she will be, the defense could argue, well, look, there were extenuating circumstances. Yes, she did do it, but I don't know if that would go over in court. But as far as her character, yes, she was always a peaceful woman, but yeah, throw in, and maybe a female attorney would use that argument. Well, but she was 35. She finally was planning her life to have, and then she felt scorned because the boyfriend she thought he was cheating again, and she went temporarily insane for, while she planned the crime. I don't know, but I just don't see how she's gonna get out of it. Anyway, let's keep reading. Kailtin Armstrong, 37, is on trial for the murder of Anna Mariah Mo Wilson, a 25-year-old star on the gravel cycling scene who had gone swimming, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. Caitlin Cash, we saw that already. She told the 9/11 call. Oops, what did I just click on? Oh, these are just pictures. Well, we could look at the pictures. Kailtin Armstrong listens to opening statements. See, you can see her nose job. That's the prosecutor. Travis County Prosecutor Ricky Jones lowers his head during opening statements. That's Mariah Wilson, the victim. Mo Wilson smiles in a gravel racing gear. She was apparently very good. She was probably going to win that. She was in town for a race that had not occurred yet. They said she was going to win. She was she was like up and coming. That's the guy that everybody was all obsessed over, which I do not understand. He's ugly, first of all, ugly. Not that, it should matter. Maybe he had a nice personality, but he's a wimp. Colin Strickland standing outside his Austin house. Here's the defense attorney using air quotes. Defense attorney Jeffrey Purrier gives opening statements during the first day of Kailtin Armstrong's trial at the Blackwell Thurman Criminal Justice Center, Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, in Austin, Texas. Armstrong is charged with the murder in connection with the shooting death of cyclist Anna Mariah Wilson. That's the friend, Caitlin Cash. Not Caitlin Armstrong. Remember not to confuse them. Caitlin Cash is the friend, spelled with a C. Then here, Caitlin Armstrong with legs and hands crossed, seen from above during interrogation. So that's Caitlin Armstrong on the left after they caught her. They found her in Costa Rica. Who's this person? Is that a police? It looks like another convict, doesn't it? Maybe it's a police person, but she looks like, with the tattoo and the jumpsuit, it looks like she's wearing. She looks like a convict, but maybe not. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any news, anything else that in a tearful testimony, blah, blah, blah. She had been shot multiple times including once in the forehead, once in the temple, and once through the heart. I think she got shot in the forehead, then the temple, and then in the bathroom, she shot her through the heart. She was on her back, I think they said. So the last thing Mo did on this earth was scream in terror. You will hear those screams. And then apparently they played the screams at the trial from the nearby surveillance equipment. A nearby security camera picked up the sound of Wilson's terrified cries, followed by 2 gunshots, Jones said, accentuating the allegation by clapping hands, pow, pow. After 45 seconds of silence, and then you hear the 3rd shot. Yes, so it sounds to me she got shot in the forehead and the temple, then it was silent. So probably at that point she ran from the kitchen to the bathroom. I guess maybe she was thinking in that moment, what might she have been thinking? She was running and she was screaming in terror. Was she facing, or was she was facing the person. She saw the gun. She started screaming. Then she got shot. Now, why did she stop screaming and she was running, but she wasn't screaming anymore? Or maybe she was screaming as she ran. No, because we heard the shots. You know what? I know what happened. No. Well, we got to know if she was shot from the back or the front. Perhaps, here's what I'm envisioning now. She was facing her. She saw the gun. She started screaming. The first shot was fired, hit her in the forehead. She was still screaming. She turned to run, maybe to go hide in the bathroom, close the door. When she turned, she got shot in the temple. This is what I'm envisioning. I don't mean that's because I'm wondering how could that be? So when she turned to run, the second shot and shot her in the temple. She stopped screaming, but I guess she had enough strength to run to the bathroom. I'm just wondering why it went silent. Because if she was still, maybe the shot through the temple made her not able to scream anymore. It hit some nerves that blocked her whatever, and she fell on the floor in the bathroom. But I'm wondering, did she fall on her back? No, was she on her back? Do you guys remember? Was she on her back or was she on her stomach in the bathroom? I can envision the first two shots, but it would only make sense if she was found face down in the bathroom. Is that what happened? I think we saw that in the earlier article. Wait a minute. When Cash found her laying on the floor, is it this one? Oh, how do I get to that? Wait, okay. Let's just Google it. How was Mo Wilson found? If she's face down, then it will make sense what I'm saying. Found. Boston police later, shortly before blah, blah, blah. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Because then, okay, then the friend was doing chest compressions. But Kailtin Cash will say how she was found. Did she flip her over to do the chest compressions, or was she already face up? And she was shot through the heart. So she would have been, if she was face down, she would have been shot through the back. Let me see. I've got to get this straightened out now, and then we'll go. I just want to know if the friend Kailtin Cash describes scene of Mo Wilson, something like that. Mo Wilson, there's a movie already? Goodness. Okay, witness chills reveals chilling 911 call. Okay. Caitlin Wilson. Caitlin. Video captures final screams. Let me see here. Okay. The murder. Caitlin Armstrong has pleaded not guilty. The last thing. Those screams were followed by pop pop. Okay, Kailtin Cash. In a short opening statement. Wait a minute. Prosecutors show track. Oh, what is that popping up on my screen here? Okay. Investigators quickly. You'll hear from No, I wanna the Kailtin Cash. Okay, here we go. Wilson's family left the court. Okay, here we go. Wait a minute. You'll hear from Colin. Okay. Among the first witnesses were Kailtin Cash, the friend who found Wilson covered in blood and not breathing when she returned home from dinner, and several police officers. Okay. They later arrived. Yeah. The parents kept their heads down. Okay, that first article was Mo Wilson found face up. Final screams. Accused killer. Mo Wilson tracked on her fitness app. Okay, well, I don't know. If she was found face down, I can see it. If she was found face up, then what I'm saying doesn't make sense. Because it would make sense that she would be on her stomach escaping. So, but her friend saw her feet and thought that she was okay. I got to get to that article. Wait a minute. Let me look it up on my phone. Hang on. Okay, I put the first article that I put here. CBS News. Here we go. The murder trial, blah, blah, blah. Caitlin Armstrong, blah, 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 blah. I got to find the... Wait a minute. I got to find the... Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. Well, if you guys find that, the scene, Kailtin Cash describes the scene. Video captures final news. Woman accused of killing her. The truth and tragedy. Okay, let me just do this. Kailtin Cash, day one. Kailtin Cash, day one. Let's see if something like that. 19 hours. I can't tell what's happened. Let's see. In a tense courtroom drama, Kailtin Cash, a crucial witness, testified in the murder trial of Caitlin Armstrong, a yoga instructor. Trial commencing this week. has been marked by disturbing disclosures. Okay. In the audio, okay, the courtroom was filled with suspense. The jury heard the heart-wrenching call. Her brain is leaking. Okay, there's blood everywhere. Her brain is leaking. She needs urban. There's blood everywhere. The 911 call provided some. Yeah, no, I want to know what she said in the trial. Like one of the links I gave you guys, she said she thought she was cooling off on the floor. Did it say she was face up or face down or not or nothing? I can't see it. Oh well. All right, I don't know. I'm going to have to leave that for another time. I want to know if she was found face up or face down, but I'm going to do some more research because then I could envision how it happened. Otherwise, I don't see how she would have been shot in the temple and in the forehead, and she was heard screaming. She was heard screaming. There were two shots. There was silence, and then there was a third shot. So the third shot, by then she was on the floor of the bathroom. But we got to figure that out. Okay. All right. Oh, hello there, Coxon. Coxon. Hello there. Yeah. Would you happen to know the answer to the only question left? I'm about to actually end this live stream. We've just been researching the trial since they're not live streaming it. What I want to find out if Mo Wilson was found in the bathroom face down or on her back. That's my only missing piece of information for me to put together in my head what might have happened at that day at the scene. There was screaming, two shots, silence for about 45 seconds, and a third shot. And the third shot was in the bathroom where she was escaping to. You think face? Okay, yeah, if it was face down, then it would make sense what I'm thinking happened. She got shot. She saw the gun. She started screaming. The first shot fired, hit her in the forehead. She turned to run, or maybe at the same time as she was turning, she shot twice. When she turned to run, she got her in the temple, silence, then fell on the floor. And then so she got shot in the back. That's bad. No, that's really bad. Ugh. But that's it for today, guys. So I'll be back tomorrow night. I'll stay off for a day. I'm getting obsessed with this trial. And see what else we can come up with. And if you guys do your own research, it'd be cool to come on here and give our opinions. And even if one of you wants to come on camera and talk about it, whatever. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. See you all next time. Tomorrow evening, I'll come on and do a follow-up on the day trial. And tomorrow's Friday, so then there won't be a trial again until Monday. Bye, everybody. Bye. Thanks for coming. Oops. What do I press to end this? There we go.